Chapter 13, Re-educating the Subconscious Mind. When the subconscious mind does not function normally in harmony with good, we may be sure that the thoughts and patterns of the conscious mind are responsible. In some way or another, we have given the subconscious mind the wrong image, thought, or belief to work on. We have turned some negative experience or idea over and over in our minds until a disease or a failure-dealing habit has been formed. In re-educating the subconscious mind, we cut the roots of destructive belief by talking ourselves out of them and plant new and different types of thought seeds by talking ourselves into them. In dealing with subconscious limitations and weakness, we are dealing pretty largely with negative and undisciplined habits of thoughts. By breaking or changing the polarity of a bad mental habit, and by forming a good one, we can get the correct result. Jesus warned us of the importance of purifying and re-educating the subconscious mind in his reference to cleansing the outside of the cup and platter and leaving the inside uncleansed, to removing withered and unfruitful branches, and to uprooting cumbersome plants. Man's life and experiences are made up of all that he has thought, felt, and said. Consequently, his consciousness contains many beliefs that must be cast out before his life can be wholly good. He must talk himself out of all of his errors, fill in his omissions, and initiate new causes. Through re-education, his subconscious mind must be cleared of all unfruitful and negative beliefs, and given new wholesome patterns of thought. Everything that is working against the good of man must be expelled from his subconscious mind. Death-dealing beliefs must be destroyed, and new healthy thought structures must be erected. That is what talking ourselves out of the wrong things can accomplish for us. We are not changing God in the process, but we are changing our relationship to the law. We are making straight the way of the Lord, so that our good can get to us automatically. When the ugly and distorted causes have been wiped out, the ugly and distorted effects will be changed. Directing the subconscious. Until the subconscious mind is disciplined, schooled, and directed, it is like a spoiled and unruly child. It will get its owner into all sorts of difficulty, mischief, and trouble. Reasoning deductively and having no volition or power of choice, it will accept the bad as readily as the good. Like the child, it will believe and act upon anything that it receives. Being creative, it will always create in the direction in which it is applied. That is why a perfect model must be kept before it constantly, and why it must never be left out on its own. Our consciousness must be held to a positive and steadfast affirmation of the good. We must not lose this state of consciousness even for a moment. This steadfastness is what St. Paul means by praying without ceasing. Just as a child can be trained by sympathetic heart-to-heart talks, by reason and kindness, the subconscious mind can be trained too. When a child is incorrigible and stubborn, the best discipline is not corporal punishment, denunciation, and scolding, but wise counsel, love, reason, and guidance. So it is with the subconscious mind. By putting things right up to your subconscious self and handling your personal weaknesses, limitations, and mistakes without gloves, you can talk the inner self around any obstacle or over any barrier standing in your way. When you have hauled your subconsciousness over the coals, so to speak, you are ready to direct the power into new channels. Having negated, through repeated heart-to-heart talks with yourself, the false beliefs of that racial mind and those other beliefs reported to you by the body, you must then get the subconscious mind to accept the new image or pattern you want reproduced. First, you empty your consciousness by dissolving the old patterns, talking yourself out of them, and second, you substitute the perfect model and perpetuate it in your consciousness. The laws of God will do the rest. They will bring forth whatever you may be seeking and will dissolve whatever you do not wish to retain. In a word, you have simply reversed the action of the law. Instead of being positive to a negative as you once were, you are now positive to a positive. You raise the obstructions, you give the orders, and the subconscious does the work. Let go. Put off the old man and put on the new, which is Christ. Before one can destroy the appearance of disease in the body, he must first destroy the pattern in the mind. The causes of all the undesirable conditions and circumstance in life are in the subconscious mind. A man may spend a lifetime trying to get rid of these false images with the conscious mind and make no headway at all. But when the pattern in the subconscious mind is destroyed, the manifestation too is ended. Consequently, knowing how to change subconscious trends is of supreme importance to the truth student. If the subconscious mind governs and controls all the actions and forces of the mind and body, and it is obedient to our word, it will initiate any action with the conscious mind and will may direct. Talking to ourselves about the things we wish to attract or to expel from our experience is really the action of the conscious mind upon the subconscious. Our chief concern in this lesson is to learn how to let go of undesirable thought patterns in the mind But let us first see this law of work in some of the ordinary movements of the body. Let us suppose, for instance, that you pick up a potato which you do not know is hot. Before you can pick it up, the conscious mind and will act upon the subconscious, and before you can drop it, the same process has to be repeated. The conscious mind not only has to tell the subconscious that the object is hot, but also to tell it to let go of the object. This is a very simple explanation of the process involved in letting go, but it clearly illustrates the principle which must be employed. If all disagreeable conditions are caused, fed, and held in place by subconscious beliefs, then to destroy the beliefs also destroys the effect of the beliefs. We shall become proficient in this work not by trying to drive the unwanted things out by will or conscious activity, but by quietly and firmly directing the subconscious to let go. Since God has the right of way in our consciousness and has made no provision for trouble and disease, we must convince the subconscious that there is no law to support them. When this conviction takes place, evil vanishes into a native nothingness. Release and be released. The law of mind is a two-way law. It will repel evil as well as attract good. It will let go as readily as it will take hold. It will lift a man up as quickly as it will let him down. To him that hath shall be given. Given what? Given more of what he already hath. The law does not act upon our desires, hopes, or wishes, but upon our mental acceptance. It creates more about what our consciousness is already filled with, because there is nothing in us which denies the thing which we are filled with. The law will create for us the things we should like to have, when there is nothing in us to deny their existence. Disagreeable conditions indicate the kinds of thought we are entertaining. Release the thought and you change the condition. Obviously, therefore, we cannot have the things and conditions we want until we have released the things and conditions we do not want. Two things cannot occupy the same space at the same time, any more than two thoughts can occupy the same mind at the same time. The world is full of people today who are trying to pick up things with hands that are already full, who are trying to attract things they cannot hold on to. St. Luke said, "Release, and ye shall be released." Put down the thoughts of limitation you are entertaining. You will then be free to pick up the good. The metaphysical ostrich will tell you not to recognize evil in any form. His advice is to refuse to face the conditions by sticking your head in the sand and saying that everything is all right when everything is all wrong. Jesus said, "Agree with thine adversary quickly." Seeing the evil as an effect of the subjective state of your thought and not as a part of yourself is half the battle. The other half is to substitute the constructive thought for the destructive thought. Because I know that the condition is the result of the activity of my mind, I command you, my subconscious mind, to remove this thought from my consciousness forever. It does not belong to me, it has no claim on me, and I refuse to have anything more to do with it. Talk yourself out of sickness. Before treating yourself or others, it is advisable to get into a calm, quiet, peaceful, and relaxed state of mind. Subject every thought to peace, power, love, and faith of Jesus Christ, for his peace conditions the mind, transmutes pain, relaxes nerves, muscles, and tendons. His power dissolves friction, strife, and fear. His love renews, restores, vitalizes, and equalizes all the force of the body. His faith effaces worry, doubt, and anxiety, and removes all barriers to your word and its successful operation. When every thought has been brought into captivity, the next step is to establish connection with the subconscious mind and direct it toward the thing you wish carried out. Impress the ideas gently and firmly upon the inner mind until you feel a quickening and renewing that tells you your words have reached the subconscious, that the two minds have become integrated. Quietly and unerringly, the accomplishing words will be involved in your mind. New health and strength will shine out from your whole being. The vitalizing action of God will be quickened in your consciousness, and your body will become alive with his spirit. After your conscious mind has grasped the truth, you must bring it forth through the action of the subconscious mind. You must speak to the inner mind as you would speak to another person. Subconscious mind of me, I am going to put you to a test today that I know you will meet. Take this belief of sickness now operating in my life, and cause me to know that it is no part of me. It is not person, place, nor thing. It has no sustaining principle. You know that this is true, and that is why I am directing you to dissolve this belief from me now. You can do it, and I know that you will. When this contact has been established, give your treatment in words like the following. God's law of health is the only law operating in my life. Help me to know this truth, to believe it, to accept it, and to make it my own. Jesus Christ is now with me, raising me to this whole consciousness of wholeness. Charge my mind with this mighty, freeing, electrifying fact until it penetrates all organ, nerve, atom, and cell. Help me to behold my body as it is in spirit, God's perfect temple of wholeness and health. Free my consciousness from all beliefs in disease, weakness, contagion, congestion, mortality, and limitation, so that my body may express its perfect and spiritual character. I know that you have already started work on this commission because I can feel the good effect in my body. I thank you and bless you for your goodness to me. I know that you will continue this work until I am every whit whole. Talk yourself out of fear. Subconscious mind of me, I am going to give you a good talking to. In the past you have had things too much your own way. Now there is going to be a change. From here on in, you are going to mend your ways and do exactly as I say. You have allowed me to live in a world of uncertainty, bondage, and fear. Now you are going to take me into a world of confidence, freedom, and faith. From this day forward, you are going to give up the old beliefs that have been working to my harm, and you are going to entertain only those that work for my good. You are going to give up every belief that contradicts or repudiates the courage, power, and fearlessness I have in Christ. Since I can think only thought at a time, you are going to fill that thought with a firm, unwavering trust in God as the one and only source of all my good. I am talking to you now, my subconscious mind, and I want you to hear, register, and act upon every word and direction I give you. Today I want you to repudiate every fear, to renounce every belief in evil, and to accept the good as supreme, true, and absolute. I want you to fill my mind so full of the consciousness of the presence of God that there is no longer any room in it for the dread, inadequacy, hardship, and perplexity of fear. Help me to know that God is here and that He is working for me every moment of my life. Put everything else out of my mind, every adverse, discordant, and troublesome thought, every dread, doubt, and uncertainty, and every evil belief. God has not given me the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. Let this word be assimilated by my whole world. Let it uplift and liberate me from every adverse and destructive belief. God in the midst of me is mighty. He will discipline every disobedient thought in my mind and adjust every discordant condition of my life. God is helping me now. The Lord God omnipotent reigneth, the mighty God, the Prince of Peace, with his vitalizing, healing, and transforming power. Send this message over every nerve fiber in my body. Send it to every sanguine cell. Send it to every organ and function. Send it to every gloomy and pessimistic belief, and to the darkest corner of my mind. Send it now. Send it hundreds of times a day. Help me to know that wherever I am, God is, and that where God is, there is nothing to fear. You are doing these things for me now, and I am already feeling the good effects of your work. I thank you.